Hello! Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. We are back after our last stream from WatCon. And if you'll notice, we've got the whole team back together. We're all very excited that Winespring has returned from her brief hiatus. Brief, but far too long because we missed her. And we have Beth Weston. Beth Domon of the Blue Ajah is in the stream today. We're all very excited. Everyone say hi to Beth in the
Beth
chat.
Domon.
Beth Domon. We love her. So, it's been a minute since we've done like a normal format Wheel and Chill show. We've been doing some like game shows and some WatCon streams and everything. This one's just going to be back to our old selves. We're going to be looking at show footage and talking about it and gushing. But before we do that, we're going to do what we always do, which is introduce ourselves, just in case you're just stumbling across this stream on Twitch or YouTube. And I'll start. I'm Kritter XD. I do Wheel of Time and other fantasy content here on YouTube and obviously on Twitch. I'm simul streaming or whatever you want to call that. I do fantasy TikToks, mainly Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, and Cosmere, although I talk about all kinds of stuff. And I'm on Twitter as Egwene Alvear and myself, two separate accounts because I'm extra. And I'm on Instagram and I have a Discord. So if you're not on that, consider joining it. All of my details are in the description of the YouTube video, as well as all of their details. So once they tell you about them, that's where you can find those as well. And I just got a new merch line with new creations by Jen. It's currently stuff with my logo on it, and I've got a bunch of brain children that I'm gonna be probably talking to Tavern about designing, and then we'll have more stuff than just my logo. But for now, I've got stuff on the way, like shirts and mugs and whatnot. I'm really excited to get it, and that is what's new with me. Winespring, what's up with you?
Hi, I'm Winespring from winespringcafe.com. You should go there and check out all the recipes that are Wheel of Time themed. I made them so you can make them. Again, that's winespringcafe.com. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram as Winespring Cafe. Yep, that's it. So check me out.
Check her out and eat her food, right? Eat her food.
Eat my food, please.
Eat her food.
And then take photos and tell me you were eating it.
It's the best thing you can do. You know what? We need to do another cooking video. We've only done one.
Yes. Especially with the banana pudding recipe that just came out. It's super good. Y'all.
We've got the dessert course all lined up. All right, Tavern. Why don't you introduce yourself? What are you cooking
Tavern,
up?
Tavern. I do merch sometimes. Beth is wearing our awesome shiny Wheel and Shirt exclusive shirt thing. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I have a lot of interviews that I still haven't put up from WatCon.
Same.
I still have like 12 more interviews to put up. So I gave it a rest so that TikTok wouldn't kick me off. And that's pretty much it. If you have an idea that you want on a short, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help with that stuff. That's it.
That's Tavern for you. Okay, Beth. Say hi. We've got your Twitter handle in the description. If there's other stuff you want to promote, like even if it's just stuff that's in the works and not official yet, you should tell us about it, okay?
Okay, so I'm testing this out first. I do be Beth Domon of the Blue Ajah.
Yes! We love it!
By my agent
I love
it.
Oh, that's amazing.
So good.
So I'm a Watt super fan, mega fan,
Hell yeah.
whatever you want to call me.
Hell yeah.
And I'm Beth Weston on Twitter. As of right now, that's really the only place you can find me unless you want to DM me in Discord. And in Discord, I'm actually Daenera, Daenera. I'm a longtime gamer, and that's my gaming name. So,
Got to play.
Yes, we did get to play. But nice. I also will be here sometime in the coming months, be starting some sort of podcast / YouTube channel with my daughter Rebecca, and we are going to do show versus book because my daughter's seen the show but has never read the books, and she wants to read the books. And so we're going to kind of break down show content versus book content and see what we think is better and what she likes more versus what I like more. And so, yeah, that will be coming. I don't know when. It's in very early planning stages, so don't expect anything next week or whatever. So, but yeah,
But
that's
look
me.
look out for it. But know
Look
that it's
out
on the
for it.
horizon. The
Look
prophecies
out
of
for
the
it.
Beth Domon of the Blue Ajah podcast have been spoken, or YouTube channel, or whatever.
Yay!
Are you gonna go with the name that we talked about at WalkOn, or is that still off the limit? Or...
I don't know.
What's
yet.
the name? What's the name?
Well-
What's the name?
Oh
made the
yeah,
mistake-
no.
She made the mistake of
No,
telling
that's
us
totally
her
off the
daughter's
table.
her daughter's nickname that she hates, and so I was like Beth
Yeah.
Beth of the Blue and Becca Boo.
Yeah, Becca would not go
I like
with
it.
that.
I love
That's a
it.
childhood nickname, and she doesn't
Oh.
like that very much.
You know, Kritter is also a childhood nickname, and I've just kind of owned it. So
I mean,
Aw.
I might be able to convince her to own it in the future, but as of right now, she's like, no, I don't think so. So we'll see, though. Maybe I can warm her up to it because it is cute. And I had another suggestion from Jessica Sedai for The Wisdom and the Apprentice, but then I found out after the fact that there's actually a podcast and one of the members goes by The Wisdom's Apprentice, so I feel
Yeah.
Mhm.
kind of owning that.
That's
so,
pretty close.
Yeah, it's very close. So I'm gonna have to try to get, some other options going. So if you have any ideas,
let us
Hit
know
me-
in the chat.
Put
Or
some stuff
Oh
in the
man,
chat.
live chat's so
Or-
good at ideas.
Yeah.
So good
Chat.
ideas.
Discord or Twitter, whatever. Yeah, if you have ideas. Then,
Okay,
yeah,
speaking of the
be great.
chat, thank you very much, Jessica
I saw
Sedai.
that.
We've got a $10 super chat. She says, so good to see the whole crew together again. Love all your faces. With my friend Beth. Squee! Did I do it right? Squee! Jessica Sedai, I don't know if you all have been keeping track, but we're getting some chibis. They're trickling out. Beth has
Beth.
one, which maybe I'll show it later
Oh, it looks so
whenever we're
good.
looking through
Yeah.
stuff.
Amazing.
Tavern's got one on the way, and Jessica also has one, and hers has a little spren. It's a little crossover, like Stormlight plus
love
Wheel of Time, and so that is some exciting stuff.
Cute idea.
Sherbert Mango's asking the origin story of my name, I guess.
Critter. Your nickname, Critter.
Yeah.
Twitter.
It's just a very brief thing. Like it sounds somewhat like my actual name, and it forms a fun alliteration with my maiden name, which I'm not gonna say. So it's like it's kind of a. Anyways, so yeah, Critter was what my mom used to call me, but she would call me both that plus my old last name, like all in a row, and it was just
Funny.
Critter last name, and it was cute, and it kind of went well and just kind of stuck. And I figured I didn't want to do anything that was only Wheel of Time specific in my like content creation name, because I've adored Lord of the Rings like my whole life also, and I figured there was a chance I would be talking about that and Cosmere stuff and other stuff, and so I wanted to keep it general, and that's what I picked. So anyways, yeah, all the new chibis are amazing. So
Winespring, do you have a childhood nickname?
oh, good question.
I do.
You do not want to share it?
It was Pookie.
Oh, Pookie.
But we
Yes.
kept that in childhood. Yeah.
I was called, as a child, I was called Bola, which in Spanish means ball, primarily because I was
Ball?
fat.
Oh.
I was a chunk.
Your little ball.
I was a chunk of flesh and diapers, and they called me Ball. That's what they called
Were
me.
you a chunk or a chonk? Because there's a
I
difference.
was chunk.
And chomp.
No, like
Because
I
a
was.
chonk is
I-
adorable. Like,
Okay, I was chunk. I wasn't like Billy Bob Thornton chunk, because apparently they used to give him sticks of butter to eat as a baby. Yeah, that's a whole
okay.
story
Oh
that he
my.
put out.
it's
I
much.
wasn't that chunk. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Beth, did you have a childhood nickname? Now we've covered all our bases except for you.
Yeah, no, not really. My full name is Bethany,
Mhm.
so Beth is kind of my nickname. So
All right.
my stepfather, when I was young, used to say Bethany Lynn from the City of Sin.
Oh.
I'm not from Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas twice, but my middle name is Lynn, and yeah, so
Wow.
Yeah, so Beth really is my nickname.
I will say that
Mhm.
Bethany is one of my favorite names. I
Well,
almost
thank
said,
you.
I almost was like,
Aw.
hey, Bethany, just to mess with you, but holy shit, it's your real name. So
Yeah.
that's even better.
It is, and I go by Beth because in my, over my life when I've been on the phone and stuff with people, whenever I say my name is Bethany, they're like, "Oh, hi, Stephanie," and I'm like, "No, it's Bethany," and so it just kind of became redundant, and so I just go by Beth, and it's easier not to mess that up than mess with
Beautiful.
my name.
Beautiful. Okay, so
Nice,
now that
very
we've got
nice.
childhood nicknames out of the way, let's talk about what we came here to talk about. How's that
Yeah.
sound? All right, and so we got at WatCon 2 deleted scenes from the Wheel of Time. Now, I'm going to get this right out of the gate, tell you guys that we will not be showing you the one that has not been officially released, but we will be talking about it. So I was hoping that it would get released by now, but it wasn't. So here we are. It was great, though. I mean, it was cool. It was a cool scene, less visually stunning than the one we actually got to see, for sure. And before we see anything and start talking, note the little flag that says this is full spoilers for the Wheel of Time. We don't want to slip and say any sort of big spoiler that might come up while we're talking about this stuff. So just know if you haven't read all the books, you are in dangerous, dangerous territory, and you may want to bail, even though we love you. So thanks for being here.
We want you here.
We want you here, but read the
we
books.
want you to keep your sanity.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you all say that let's just watch it, shall we? And then we can
let's jump in.
Yep.
And then we could talk about the one that we've actually seen. So I'm gonna open it real quick, and then I'm going to do the thing where you guys can see it. Okay, this is working. All of the technology is working, and then I'm gonna turn on the audio so you can hear it. Holy.
Fingers crossed.
And then we're gonna do this. Ready? Okay, everybody brace yourselves. Okay.
Sound.
I don't hear anything.
I don't either.
Oh, you wouldn't. It's on the stream.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense.
In this world, a woman must be all things. First and foremost, she must be strong. Strong as the trees that have stood in this valley for centuries. Wise as the earth itself. And willing to use that wisdom to do good. She must have the patience of the stones that have watched the world pass by, and the sense to act when needed. Because within her exists the power of creation itself. The ability to give life and take it.
I love it so much. Like, so like, while I was watching this, I didn't really. Okay, Agnes says hi, first of all.
Oh, hello, kitty.
Kitty.
I guess first of all, welcome Rebecca to the stream. That you're here for the first time, and we're so glad to have you. But okay, so let's just Beth, how did you feel seeing this for the first time at WatCon?
So my first impressions were amazing. I mean, it's in my opinion, this is full book fan service. 100%. Like, we are seeing foreshadowing of so many different things going on here. And it tied in other scenes in episode 1 that didn't really make sense during the final cut, specifically Nynaeve's first conversation with Moraine when she's cleaning up after the ceremony.
Yep.
So I really enjoy the scene a lot.
Yeah. I also think that it ties in well with the cliff scene, because a lot of people were like, well, which would you rather have, like the cliff scene or this scene? Because, you know, presumably you would have to cut one of them just for time, like assuming you had to. And I feel like I wish they could have done them both, because I've said this on TikTok, at the very beginning, Nynaeve says, you know, first and foremost, a woman must be strong. And then right before she pushes Egwene off the cliff, she says, be strong, Egwene. And so it's like, those two things go together really well, where some people were like mad, like, no way Nynaeve would push Egwene off the cliff. What was the point of that? Well, it's all a part of this initiation ceremony. And some say maybe it tied back to, you know, a testing of for the one power, like way back in the day, and the meaning just got lost, or and all of that kind of would just tie together, right? Because we've got the Ajah colors in the pool, and then we've got her surrendering to the river, you know, which is like a allegory for channeling. And they work so well together. I wish they would both have been in the show, personally. Winespring, what was your thought the first time you saw this? And I assume you saw it because you weren't at WatCon, you saw it right whenever the show released it.
Yes, yeah, I saw it when they tweeted it out. And it was, I mean, I got a little emotional. I thought it was beautiful. It's very ceremonial, very sacred feeling. Like the entire vibe was just like lofty and grounded, I guess is the best way I could think to put it. And I'm actually happy they cut it.
Why?
I'm happy they cut it and that they gave it to us as a deleted scene. I hope that there are more of those like that out there that we'll get. Because I think the scene, you know, with the river and the pushing and all of that worked just fine without this. So I'm okay with that having been added in. And the whole, you know, spoiler side of it, I saw people tweeting about that it was just a little too leading for Egwene's character and where she's, you know, headed.
Yeah.
So better not to spoil it too much for those that haven't read or, you know, that are heaven forbid missing this, you know, Will and Chill show, you know.
God forbid.
And the prior ones. I mean, there's still people out there that might not know what happens with her character.
Yeah.
Right. Which is good. You know, I want so badly not to spoil it for anyone who doesn't know, but also, like, once again, full spoilers for the end of the books. If you don't want spoilers, please, God, leave. Tavern, what'd you think the first time you saw this?
You say that, you repeat that right after you call my name, or right before you call my name.
I have given everyone warning before this. So...
I will wear that shoe. That's all I'm saying. So this clip, you know, like Beth said, it was fan service. I think the biggest parts of this whole clip were the visual aspects, the visual clues that you get. The wording is a little too on the money for me, too on the nose. With, you know, a lot of people were saying, okay, as she's saying things, the colors going into the pool, you know, match the Ajahs that, you know, of the colors and whatnot. But I mean, the visuals. First off, starting off with the big circle of light in the sky as they're going through the pass. If you look closely, there are some trees in there, but if you look closely, you can actually see the Aes Sedai symbol, the way the leaves are clumped, which is really cool. You know me, that's my thing. I like looking at little minute crap.
The big circle of
They were so good at doing that for us.
Putting those in. In there, you have a thicker clump of leaves on the left and a lesser clump of leaves on the right.
Like right here.
It look like, it looks
exactly. Like you're so right. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then the next
then they cut to the next scene, with the flame of with the flame, right?
Oh, that holy.
Yeah.
Why? Why am I so bad at this game? I did not notice that. Okay, guys. What they're talking about is the symbol, the Aes Sedai Flame of Tar Valon symbol. It's right here. Yeah. Obvious, plain as day. Kritter did not notice until just now.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how I missed it. But okay, continue. Thank you.
Yeah, so it was just a visual smorgasbord of of just clues,
Symbolism.
and fan service. Yeah, it was. It was just a lot of symbolism. The colors. We had that whole discussion on Twitter about where did the dye go? And it was like, oh, it was pulled into the bottom rock by a whatever. We were just
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
matter.
Yeah, doesn't
Wow.
matter.
Nynaeve cleans it later. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we see her literally scrubbing the rocks. Like, what more do you need?
And again, I mean, if you think about it, it ties into Nynaeve's story about her wisdom going to the White Tower, being rejected, right, and coming back, and it just shows that all of these women's circles and these different little villages are all tied to the White Tower somehow. The symbolism. That's where the ritual of the colors comes in, and all that stuff. It all ties back to the White Tower.
Or the one power, which came first, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the colors would be from the White Tower, not. They created the colors. The one power, I don't think, has anything to do with the colors, is what I'm saying.
Well, I guess the question is, like, my thought was, which came first? These traditions where, Manetheren presumably is valuing those particular virtues in women specifically. And then at some point in time, the colors got associated with those virtues or the odd, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know the timing of all this
Well, that's
stuff.
a good point.
Also,
really good
I just have to point out, random Domon in the comments, that stone bridge is where Two Rivers seniors do their senior pictures and prom photos. I know I would. That would be exactly where I would go.
And on a good day, you can listen to the wind.
On a good day, you can't. Oh, yeah, that's where she went, isn't it?
That's where they go.
That's the same bridge they used.
I love Two Rivers Badgers making fun of me for not noticing the fan service. All of this wasn't fan service for Kritter. You know what? I was just happy to get a deleted scene, okay? And, like, obviously all the paint and Egwene being covered in all the colors. Like, there was plenty of stuff I noticed. Okay?
Sith guys using big words at me. I don't understand what he's saying.
Oh, what? Oh, Benny. That's Benny Gesserit is
from Dune. Yeah.
It's a priestess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the thing I think part of this scene being so significant to us is because it was such a vital part of the promotional material that we saw coming out for months and months and months before the show.
Yeah, we were all waiting for it.
Right. And when we didn't see it, there was like a little bit of letdown. Like, I mean, it was even the thumbnail for the show. Wasn't it?
Like, even after the show was done, at times on Apple TV, it was the thumbnail.
I mean, it's such a good-looking scene. That's why.
It really is. It's done well, and I think again, and Rafe or directors, whoever casting directors, did a really great job several times in the season. From what you see here too, you see a lot of equal representation of women. You don't see a bunch of young, beautiful, model-esque females. You see older women, curvier women. I really appreciate how they try to make it relevant to everybody, and I think that's something that they really succeeded in the show. But I do agree with Winespring that I'm glad they cut the scene. It would have put way too much focus on this first episode of Egwene, and I think the symbolism of surrendering to the river, like surrendering to Sidar, is much more of an impact statement in the long run than this foreshadowing moment. So
I think upon reflection, if I had to pick between the two, I would pick the river scene because later in the season it ties in well, even maybe in the next episode, it ties in well to the lesson of Moraine talking about, like, imagining that she's surrendering and all this other stuff whenever she's starting to channel. So if, like, for the astute viewer, even if you didn't read the books, you're going to be like, wait, like, isn't that what she did kind of in the river, right? Like, just last episode? So, yeah.
I mean, and they remember they were going for the, who's the Dragon Reborn? Who's Dragon Reborn? This scene would have been like, she's the Dragon Reborn. Look at all the cool shit
she
that's
has to be.
her, right?
Yeah.
It would have been just a red herring the size of New York, but still,
it's true.
It keeps it away from the whole. It just gave it a little bit more mystery. So I agree. The cliff scene was way better for the purpose of the show.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Rebecca Biogo, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. We appreciate you. And Sith Guy, I love the Bene Gesserit reference. I have no idea what you're referring to when you say that, though. Like, are we did I say something that related to the voice, or I don't know. I'm like confused. I don't know what the reference is, but I've read Dune, I swear. I'm just
an idiot.
I'm just an idiot today, literally.
We just need more details.
I didn't get it at
Give
all.
us some more details.
Like my
I should have.
Please explain your reference, and thank you in advance because I enjoy it. Another red herring mention. What?
Get it? Red herring.
Yes.
Red hair.
Yeah, but who's got red hair now? Like, what's happening? Why is it like I don't understand?
Well,
I think this is alluding to the next
the next
that
deleted
we
scene.
won't
Yes.
show, but we're probably gonna talk about.
Oh,
Yes,
Jessica,
the red
you're getting
herring.
ahead of me. I
Wow.
need to sharpen
On it.
up a little bit. And what up?
Yeah.
Danaloo, I miss your face
Hey,
too.
hey.
It's been what, a week and a half? Too long, far too long.
Far too long.
The Who's.
It's like a big reunion. How exciting is this?
It's amazing.
It's so amazing. Okay, so let's see. What else is there to talk about here on this, other than the fact that we finally got it at long last? Do you think the fact that they cut this was probably better for all the Brosif haters out there who say the women get too much attention in the show? Probably a good
Oh
thing
my
that
gosh.
I mean, I know, like, eye roll, but like at least there's
Yeah, like,
at least there's one less scene that's just only women, right? For them.
I give two rats asses about the bros.
I know.
I will say this. Several times now, I've seen them attempt Marvel-esque type things. Like, you know how Marvel will put out a trailer and it's missing stuff, or they put the different people in it just to mess with you, and then the movie
Yeah.
shows up and the scene is different. They screwed that up. They put her out there in the trailer, and then they just didn't give it to us. You know.
I feel
and
like
then
it
we
was intentional. It seems intentional.
I mean, you had to cut. They had to cut, and it made more sense to use the other scene. I still think that this was too on the money, and it would have, really spoiled some stuff for other people. But yeah,
And I love her face right here. She looks so like Egwene.
Serene. She's
Like,
so good. I know.
Yep.
we got
Yeah,
an answer
she
from
looks
Sith
intense
Guy.
and powerful.
We did. Okay, so Sith Guy says, the idea that a large organization laid the foundations of rituals and rites that they can use to further their own agenda, i.e. when the Aes Sedai show up, they can use local customs to be friendly. Thank you. That makes so much sense
Are you a
now.
freaking psychologist? What the?
It makes a lot of sense now. It makes a lot of
sense, but
It's, well thought. Like, wow, are you just some kind of, like, media critic that we don't know, like, secretly in the chat? Like, that's awesome.
That is some
Glad you're here.
Dune deep dive.
you're like
Like-
Sith Guy Webster Dictionary. Are you part of the,
Yeah.
of the Websters? What?
I mean,
Like, that's somebody who's read a lot
Sith
of
Wiki.
commentary on
Yeah, Sith
politics
Wiki.
and the religion.
of Dune.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Well, I'm impressed. Color me impressed.
Hey, Kayla's here. Yay, Kayla.
Kayla, what up? Okay.
Hey.
Let's see. We've got Egwene. Oh,
Guy, we're giving you a lot of crap, but that was amazing. Thank you for that. That was a good.
you know what we
analogy.
haven't talked about yet is Zoe. Zoe and how beautiful.
What is
Oh,
there to
I
say?
love
She's
this.
gorgeous.
This shot of her when she's
yeah.
speaking and it with that like light like a halo behind her head
Yes.
felt so powerful to me.
I completely agree. That's what I thought that like before now, but also
Stop
while
right
we
there.
were watching it. Yeah.
Yes, right there. Oh my goodness,
Also-
so powerful.
One, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I'm glad you brought it up. This is very reminiscent to the opening sequence where they're showing the Aes Sedai on the tapestry, and they have those halos of light behind them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
Look
Yes.
eye.
you. Oh my
Wow.
I need to have some more conversations.
And we got snaps for Tavern.
About,
Good
like,
job.
for real.
Good job.
Kind of beautiful.
And nuance.
I was going to throw in something that's probably way less cool, but I did actually take a media criticism class in college because why
Of
wouldn't
course
I?
you did.
My final paper, I wrote about the Fellowship of the Ring because why wouldn't I?
Ooh,
But
how would
also,
you?
also, I learned some things about media criticism and the way people shoot to like convey certain messages. And for me, this particular shot and throughout the scene is really interesting because you're looking at Nynaeve from below, which makes her seem even more powerful, even though she's already
Yes.
like an absolute stud. But I think if this had been in the show, it would have laid the foundation from the absolute get-go that Nynaeve is in a place of power and and worthy of it, you know, because it's not
like righteousness.
Like, yeah, it's like the subliminal messaging is like, this woman is awesome. Like, just wait, she's gonna be really powerful, and she's gonna own it, because like, look at this face. I don't know. Anyways, the angle was perfect, basically, is what I'm saying.
I just thought of something, and so if anybody else thought about this, I'm not really sure. But I was just looking at this picture on screen, and I'm like, holy fuck, if this isn't foreshadowing, I don't know what is. Behind her also looks like the Mayo explosion of healing that happened in episode 4.
Yeah.
A big ball of light surrounded her, and here you have a big ball of light. So fuck me.
True. No, there's even just
like
one.
layers
Can
on
I?
layers.
No, I'm gonna layer another one, because I literally have another thought. But like,
Please do it.
Nynaeve is the ultimate healer, right? You saw the Super Saiyan healing. Later in the series, she makes incredible things happen with healing. This to me screams like Christian imagery with the halo around Jesus Christ, right? And he's like also
And Mary
and Mary. So yeah, she's got like multiple. I don't know. It's.
I thought of that too, and I was like, I don't know if that. I mean, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's amazing. It's like a big giant halo.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't hear the audio playback when you played it.
Correct, right?
But doesn't no, it's totally fine. Doesn't Nynaeve say the power to give life and to take it away?
The
Doesn't
ability
she say that?
to give life and take it. It's the very last line.
Yeah, and take it. So she's pouring red dye into the pool. And
Which is,
in the opener of episode 3, what happens in this pool?
The blood.
She takes a life with the Trolloc. She kills the Trolloc in the pool. So
that's true.
So I think that was some more. Another thing, like, it would have been very resonant if they were able to keep the scene in the show. I mean, basically, Rafe, if you're watching this, we need a Rafe cut. We just need a Rafe cut of every single episode in the season. Uncut, unfiltered, just give it to us raw. We will love you for it. Please.
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
Sexual.
Thank you in advance. Thank you in advance.
I mean, a lot of people are talking about what you were saying about pouring
Raw
the red
and uncut.
Sorry, go ahead, Tavern.
I was going to say, a lot of people are saying exactly what Beth is saying, where she's pouring the red in, and of course she kills the Trolloc in the pool. She's also talking about taking life and what was the other line?
Taking life away.
Take it away.
Giving life and taking it away.
Giving life and taking it away, and when she heals Lan, there's a lot of blood, and she's
Giving life.
Giving life there, which is really cool. Yeah, there's a whole lot of crazy symbolism in all of these shots.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I posted a TikTok about this. Like, you know, some people said it was too on the nose or whatever, and Sarah Nakamura actually commented, and she was like, way too on the nose. It was like, well, okay, like, that's, I mean, if she's saying it, you're probably right. Like, there was a lot going on in this scene that book readers would have been like, you know, oh shit, and then everybody else would be like, what's happening
What a
here?
cool scene.
Yeah. This is so pretty. Which
Is
is
that real paint?
The people that have never read the books and were watching the show probably would have gone right over their head, but everybody else, the majority of people watching, would have been like,
cool.
I grumble.
I mean, check out that flame. Who missed that? That's embarrassing if you did.
You know what's even more embarrassing, Kritter? Kritter, you want to know what's more embarrassing?
What's that?
You brought this up in the very first show, and you've already forgotten.
Brought this
Are you
up?
sure?
Yeah.
How would we have
Yeah,
brought this
because
up?
I know for a fact that I brought that up.
Well,
We did that image, didn't we?
Yeah,
Because it
That's
was in the-
right.
'cause it was
This
in
is
the
not
trailer?
a new image.
No, we did it on our first show. Well, not the first show, but the episode 1 show.
this wasn't in episode 1, was it?
Yeah, that's her walking to... Yes.
This?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they showed that.
Son of a bitch. Okay, well, that's on me. I've already forgotten. My mistake. Forget I
You just
said
have to say, I've
anything.
slept since then. That's just the blanket. I've slept since then.
I've sl-
That's what
I
I'm
have-
saying whenever
Slept
I
since
forget.
I've had many sleeps since then.
Exactly.
Okay, so earlier, Random Noman said the saint of thumped heads and boxed ears for Nynaeve. And that's
Nice.
perfect.
It sounds like
I
a
wanna
Twitter
miss
handle.
that.
Have that be your profile picture, like Nynaeve with the halo in the background, the saint of
So
boxed
much
ears
better than
and-
ramen noodle. I'm just saying, it's a better.
Someone's gonna do that.
I hope they do. Do it, and then yeah. It's pretty. It's all really pretty.
It's
I like-
amazing. It is glorious to watch.
It is, but
So Egwene never chooses an Ajah, right? But if
Uh,
she did, would she have chosen blue?
green.
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 She says
Green.
that.
Yeah, she would
Okay.
have chosen
She-
green.
Okay.
Green.
She wanted Galad and Gowan. Oh shit! I said his name. Sorry.
No, I think she
I mean,
was
do we
just.
hate him that much?
I think she was just like she resonated the most with the Battle Ajah and the preparation for the last battle, which makes sense given what happened in the end.
Well, and in
yes.
her accepted test, when she was Amerlin, in her accepted test, her Keeper of the Chronicles was green.
That's right.
And so she knew she had chosen green through the Terrangral. So that was, she had an affinity for it through that, I think. As
Yeah.
well. 'Cause
Okay,
remember,
okay.
after her testing, she went out and she asked Alana, she's like, what does being green represent? Like, right out of her accepted test. When Sheriam was there, and she was like, what does it mean to be a green? And Alana was like, it's a little too soon to be asking those questions, but if you really want to know, let me tell you.
Here's your info.
Dark
Right.
Eye of the World. In the thing on the floor? Sit guy? Sorry, sit guy was
The
asking.
big cliff circle light we're talking about.
That. Yeah, the big one, the first one.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh.
Mirrors for the Eye of the World at the at the very
Oh,
the-
yeah. The Eye of the World is dark in the center and light around it. This is light in the center and dark around it, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Y'all pick up on too much stuff.
It's all about visual.
That's what we're here
I
for.
love visual shit.
Me especially. I'm the one who picks up
I
on the
mean-
most stuff.
The most, Kritter, the most.
I agree. I think Egwene is Battle Ajah to her heart. She's not. Well, she is really tricksy. She could be a blue easy peasy. Like she's got the politics.
has An
But
affinity for persimmons.
when she was a novice again, in Gathering Storm, she actually learned that she really enjoyed a lot of the Ajahs whenever she was like taking lessons again with them. So basically,
Yes.
she's incredibly skilled, talented, and diverse, and the best character in the Wheel of
And
Time. So
perfect.
glad we established
Just
that.
perfect.
And
Hey.
a step tracking.
Never be able to tell who is your favorite character in Wheel of Time.
I try to keep it pretty
Who could it
unbiased.
possibly be?
Yeah, I try to keep it pretty unbiased around here.
I'm gonna be nice this stream, but she is a step tracking. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
A tracking in law.
What?
Tracking. When you said that, I thought you said we're saying like toe racking at first. I was like, what are we
No,
talking
no,
about here?
yeah. Gwen's a toe racking.
Beth, who's your favorite character?
I have two.
Okay, bring it on.
Ooh.
Nynaeve
I knew that.
and Matt.
Yeah.
Both
Two
acceptable
good
answers.
choices.
Very good choices.
Everything. And I also have a for Egwene because I love
Ooh.
She's
her
pretty awesome.
story arc. I
Yeah.
love her arc, and her growth
Yes.
as a character is really amazing. I think she's a really solid supporting character in the series. So.
Very entertaining read, for
The
sure.
whole arc where she's hanging out with them and learning about them, and she realizes, oh, they're just they're not as bad as we've been told. It's just women that can channel aren't as bad as we were told. Yeah, that's a whole amazing thing.
I mean, and she feels like she owes a debt to the Aes Sedai in general because of what happens to Rand when she gave up the male Idom.
That's
Yeah.
right.
She
That's
becomes
right.
Egwene
Ooh.
warder. I mean, she stands in. I hate to use a Christian term, but stands in the gap for Egwene needed somebody to her back after Gawain died, and she did it. And then Egwene had the compassion to release Egwene when she realized she was going to die. So I love Egwene's story arc from the beginning when she meets Domon, all in the Great Hunt, all the way to the end of the book. Just comes for full circle, and the world is bigger than you, and life is what you make it. And I love that about her. So
That is so cool. I haven't heard many people
Yeah.
like point out Egwene as like specifically one of their favorite
favorite.
characters, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
She's a badass character.
Yeah.
She's a badass character.
Kayla Tiabara in the chat, Kritter. I pick up the most. Call me a heavy lifter. Okay, sure. Yeah, I like.
She's a heavy lifter for sure.
Absolutely. I am.
For sure.
I'm the one picking apart these clips. No one else does any of it. It's all me. Clearly.
We're just here to make you shine.
Yeah, right.
Hey, man.
Well, okay. So does anybody have any final thoughts about the pool scene before we explain what we saw in the other scene and talk about it?
Other than it's a really weird color blue, no.
So pretty.
That's like glacial water. Like that's a real color. Like that water is sometimes. Promise.
Okay.
I've seen water that color.
I know.
Not in Florida, I guess, Tavern.
No.
Oh yeah, no, not in Florida.
It's like the Keys.
It's like red in Florida.
Along the West Coast, yes, we have the red algae bullshit. But yeah, in the Keys, it has that color. But we're good.
Yeah. Also, like, I'll shock you here. Some water in Missouri gets close to that because they have like cold springs that come up, and like right where it comes up, it can be really freaking blue. Oh yeah, and the Caribbean, random gnome, and I've seen it there too. So it's it's possible. It's possible. I did wonder how cold this water is. If it's like a cold spring, like in Missouri.
She's acting like it's not cold.
Well, but she's serene as hell, so I would expect that out of her.
That's a good point.
It's called acting.
Acting.
Come on.
Okay, so there being no further comments about the pool scene, we can move on. Perfect.
Bye, pool scene.
Bye, pool scene.
Bye,
We
pool
love
scene.
you. Also, thank you, Willow Time, for sending this to us and giving us
Yes,
something to
absolutely.
do in the off season.
Oh,
Right?
let's get ready for this next one. Well, we're not gonna watch it, but we definitely need to talk about this next one.
Okay, so that is definitely glacial melt. Dana Luhu, she knows.
Yeah.
She knows. So the next scene we can't show you, but we will talk about it. I'll give you a brief description from my perspective, and then you guys fill in the gaps. How's that sound? The people who have seen it. Okay, so remember the scene where Egwene walks up and talks to Tam after her and Rand get it on in the Winespring the night before? She gives him the bread.
Not
the honey cakes.
Oh, the bread, not the honey cakes.
The bread, not the honey cakes. And Tam asks her, I believe, if she remembers Carrie Althor, his wife, and she says, I remember her piercing blue eyes, and I can't remember, I think it was Tam who also said red hair, but one of them says red hair, and let's see, what else? He mentions that it was sort of a good thing that she died because death is a clean break, and it's better to have like a clean wound that goes really deep rather than a messy wound. And Egwene looks really contemplative. Oh, and then he, at the very end, says, I think, be careful with his heart. He's all I have, or something like that. So fill in. Beth, do you remember anything that I missed?
I just remember the back and forth. I felt like I can never pronounce the actor's last name who plays Tam. Help me. Mackle. I can never pronounce it. Anyway, the actor who plays Tam.
Michael McFadden. Isn't that his name?
No, it's not McFadden.
No, not McFadden.
It's McLatin or something. And I am so sorry if you happen to see this, and I don't mean to butcher your name.
Why?
But he gave a very heart-wrenching performance.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I felt, I love Madeline Madden so much, but I felt like her lines were a little forced compared to his. I felt like there was quite a difference in level of hitting on the point, I guess, for lack of a better term. And
McElhatton. Thank you.
Nice.
McElhatton. I was thinking
Jessica.
McFadden because I'm like obsessed with Succession, and there's the guy who played Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice, I believe, is Michael McFadden.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
on the show Spooks.
So right, all right.
I loved him so much. Anyway, yes.
Keep it going.
So I mean, I didn't dislike the scene, but there was way too much exposition in that scene, and setting up way too much questions about like how important is Rand? You know, like, oh well, let's just make it even more prominent that he's the only person in the Two Rivers who has red hair, and that his mother was an outlander and all this. I don't feel like it was the strongest scene, so I don't mind that they cut it, even though I loved Tam's performance in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Tavern, did I miss any content from the scene?
Okay, and Kayla brought this up. I was going to bring it up, but she mentioned it in there as well. So they talk about the summer that Bran and Meryn were rebuilding the tavern or the inn after it burnt down.
That's right.
And they sent her to live
Yes.
with the Althors, and that Carrie spent every single day playing with Egwene when she was a child that whole summer, which leads into my whole everything that we'll talk about after we discuss the thing. Yeah, there was, I think that was the gist of it. It went from that, she did say, I remember she had red hair and blue eyes like Rand, which is the change, one of the changes from the books, because we all know that Rand has gray eyes, if I'm not mistaken, in the books. And so, again, alluding to the fact that Carrie and Rand were very similar, which differs from the fact that, I mean,
Well,
the books we know she was, it doesn't differ, but I'm just saying in the books we know that
Yeah.
she was, we think she was from somewhere else.
she's from Camelin. She's from
Yeah,
Camelin.
well,
And she is-
yeah, and they
and she
met,
is a
and they
redhead.
met it.
She is a redhead.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's from Camelin, and they met in Ilion. While Tam was part of the companions, and their parents didn't agree with the relationship. They couldn't say anything because he was one of the companions, and then got married. They disowned her, and she followed Tam off to the Ale Wars, if I'm not mistaken. That's what the companion book.
Real
is that what
Time
it's called?
Companions has something like that.
Anyway.
That's exactly what that says.
Yeah.
Um,
Verbatim.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so
Word for word.
basically, well, it wouldn't be word for word, but it's close
I'm
enough.
joking.
But yeah, so like Beth said, it's alluding to other things that I want to talk about after Winespring says her, because there's some weird shit.
Let's see.
there.
There's also, we haven't talked about the last thing that Tam says is, "You have his heart in your hand, girl. Be gentle with him. He's all I have."
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually really heavy,
Mhm.
and kind of like alluding to the fact that Tam was maybe a little worried about their relationship, like knowing how headstrong Egwene is, and
Mhm.
like how she's thinking about becoming a wisdom, maybe like what route she might take, and kind of fatherly protectiveness showing up there.
Yeah.
Thought that was cool.
I think he was trying to get Egwene to break up with Rand. Like that's it. I don't think
in
that's
a nice manner.
a super far leap.
He's like talking about death and then their relationship.
Literally, he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what sucks more
Let
than
it
a
die.
really deep cut is a jagged, messy cut. And you know what happens the entire
Yeah.
season? A messy cut.
See.
Such a messy cut.
And so it's kind of
So-
interesting
Yeah.
that like
You,
I mean, we had a love triangle suddenly, golly.
split
yeah,
laws.
don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe Meryn and Bran talked to Tam, because Tam clearly knew what her intentions were? Clearly, she walked up. He knew she was gonna break up with him, and he's basically telling him in his own way, telling her in his own way, "Do it quick.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let it linger. Do it quick."
Mm.
Because he you could tell that he knew what was happening, which is amazing. Because again, unless Egwene had told Mom, and we know that Tam and Meryn and Bran are all close, close knit friends, they might have said something to him when they left him to wash the dishes. So the next morning, Tam was like, "Oh, us don't hurt him, lass," or whatever he said. But anyways, yeah.
Wow.
Horrible.
You
Yeah.
said
That
it
was interesting.
beautifully. And I can't say the
eloquent.
same about you.
I'm eloquent that way.
Something that was brought up in other conversations that I've seen about this is a possible tie-in to the hard times that Matt's family fell on,
Yeah.
as a possibility that somebody in his family was indirectly responsible or directly responsible for the fire, or
Burning.
they lost something in the fire and that's kind of caused them to fall on very hard times. I think that is a pretty interesting possibility. And I don't know if that, if we end up back in the Two Rivers because Perrin goes back, it would be great to see if they dive into that and they bring the fire up again, and maybe to find out, what happened and why is Matt's family living in poverty, and et cetera, et cetera.
I'd like to see
I saw that. Yeah.
a little more illumination on that, because I've been preaching I think we're going to get an Abel Cawthon redemption arc. Because he's there.
Really?
I hope so.
Well, he's a not unknown actor, right? Like, so if him and Tam team up like they do in the books, if they're going to, I guess we're gonna need some kind of improvement from him, because right now he's just a piece of shit, right?
Heroic showing.
Yeah, right now he sucks, and so
100%.
in some way it would be interesting to see when that started to happen. Like, maybe they did lose somebody in that fire, and that's why they had the lantern and everyone was looking upset or whatever, or something else, and then he grows as a father or whatever. I don't know. We'll see.
Man, do they have time to do all that?
Yeah, that's the
I feel like
question.
there's just not enough time in the limited amount of episodes we're being gifted by Amazon.
maybe whenever Perrin goes back to the Two Rivers, which I feel like they can't skip, because that's like the coolest thing he does.
It is the
like,
coolest
it's
thing.
probably his best arc in the books, in my opinion. So hopefully when he goes back to the Two Rivers, we'll have a little more Abel Cawthon time, and then we can have a little mini Abel Cawthon redemption arc. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
It's the best arc.
That'd be great.
The best arc that the character never wanted. So he didn't want any of that shit. And he's like, I'm a lord now. God damn it.
Everyone
and that was all fail. That was really all fail.
It's Fail, but anyway, everyone's
Buddy cops.
You know me. I'm gonna call it fail.
everyone's commending your acting in the comments, Tavern.
Saw that. Listen.
We do
I
need
see
more
that.
episodes.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you all for cheering me on. Maybe I'll do hand puppets or some more voice stuff later.
If not an Oscar, at least a chili, says Random Noman.
A what?
A chili. That's clearly the award that we
Will
give
and show.
for people who do.
Like a Will
Yep,
and
the
Chill.
chili award.
Chili.
Yeah.
Yes. With some.
Is that a thing? Are we doing that now?
I don't know. Part of me's like, Winespring could make chili for the for the chilies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe like a vegetarian chili. We got a lot of
Why not?
Why we got
Let's try
vegetarian?
this.
No. If I win, I want. meat with my chili.
We could all make
What
chili.
the hell?
Here's the deal: we could all make different chili, right? And then bring it to the table and explain what the chili tastes like, since it's all virtual anyways.
Right? Eat our chili
It's
together.
a thought. It's a thought. We could all eat chili on stream. I don't think anyone's gonna want to watch that, but it would be something that we could do.
We could have like a chili eating contest.
Could be fun.
That sounds horrible. I'm
Sounds
not
uncomfortable.
gonna sign off on that.
You can't use any utensils.
We could do an award show. That would
I would do that.
I'm into the award show idea. We're
I
gonna
like
have to
the idea.
sit with that one for a while.
Like that.
We got to come up with some chili awards.
Yeah, so I saw
like that.
somebody at WatCon, circling back to the topic at hand, circling back to WatCon, somebody in the audience guessed that that the conversation meant that Carrie was still, that it was Shail who actually ended up marrying Tam, right? That's
the theory that we're
well,
going with.
yeah, and I think not to but I don't agree with that. It's an interesting thought.
That seems strange.
But part of me thinks that maybe that's why they cut the scene, because once people saw episode 7 and that it was a
it was too
redhead with blue eyes, they'd be like, "Oh, she lives." And then it would diminish the impact of the scene, right? Because she stays alive but despite fatal wounds to have this baby, and then she ends up dying.
Yeah.
That's the theory. That's the theory that we were gonna bring up, because people have talked about, like you said.
Oh,
So-
okay. Sorry, I stole your thunder.
No,
I did-
you did not. No, you
Okay.
did not, because it was talked about at WalkOn. It wasn't my idea. It was just a lot of people were talking about it. So, similarity in the look between Shale and Harry in the TV show, right?
Yeah.
Alludes to the fact that Am went away, came back with a wife and a baby. Here he is helping this, spear maiden deliver a baby, who just happens to look just like Rand, and the description of Carrie is just like Rand. So, I mean, they've changed some things on the show already, right? They have made some changes. We all know that. Would they go that far?
No.
No.
Nah.
I would like to say no. I would
mean,
like to say no, but
There
my
is more than
proof-
one redheaded woman in the world.
I have
Rob
my
Christensen in the
evidence.
comments. Rob Christensen in the comments says, "Y'all just saying all gingers look the same," and
Hey,
no, we're not.
Oh no.
Hey, Rob, if red is sus, red is sus. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
Wow.
no, but I mean, they've made some changes.
Tavern, it says.
I would. Tavern is definitely sus. They've made some changes in the show. I personally would hate it if they made that kind of change. We really can't put it past them because, again, it's a different turning, and who knows what they'll do. I really don't want that to happen, but that's a theory that's going around.
I don't picture that happening at all because there's no way. Well, I take that back. I was going to say there's no way an Aiel would blend in. Shael was not Aiel by blood, was she?
Right.
She,
No.
No,
wasn't.
but here's the
No,
thing.
But no, I don't think they'll do it. It will, like Kritter said, it will minimize her
That's
the
what-
impact
Oh,
of
no.
her death.
That was horrible,
So.
Rob.
Oh my God,
This
Rob.
theory has more holes in it than Shai.
Oh
All
my.
right, so another thing that I wanted to bring up since you brought it up, the way Tam, and again, this is another good reason why they cut that scene because it's just alluding. There's a big arrow for people who haven't read the books pointing that Harry was Shale, right? I mean, if they had left that scene in,
Yeah.
that's what people would be thinking. But the other one was the fact that, and when he tells the story of Egwene staying with him for the summer, that Carrie loved her and played with her every day, which, if it was Shael, would be a huge impact to her, that Meryn would trust her with her daughter, almost like a spear sister kind of thing. So there's that whole, I mean, there's a lot of assumption in that. I don't agree with it. But I'm glad they cut the scene because people would have been way too confused.
Yeah.
I think.
It would have been confusing, and I don't think it was necessary.
Right.
Because literally, I think the next scene, probably, if I had to guess, was them sitting up on that hill and Egwene breaking up with Rand. And so it's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they- like, I guess that's what that was about. Like, you know,
Yeah.
easy.
It was like,
Right.
slice for 8 episodes.
Yeah.
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 It was so
Right.
rough to watch.
Like, just,
oh my God.
that was a good imagery. I liked that imagery.
Yes.
Yeah. It was so painful to watch that whole relationship.
I mean, but you realize, though, that it was a total role reversal by the end of it, right? Like,
But yeah.
Egwene is the one who wanted to leave Rand in the beginning, and at the end, Rand was lying to Egwene that he would be there with her and he would become her warder after she went to the White Tower. So, I mean, it was a total role reversal because Rand knows who he is, by the way, right? He's like, I'm fucked. I'm the Dragon Reborn. But I'm going to save you that pain, and I'm going to lie to you and pretend that we're going to be together forever. So, you know, you're right. It was never a clean cut. It was a total jagged wound. But they
It
were
was
wounding
crazy.
each other. They were wounding each
Back
other.
and
It was
forth.
not one right. It was such a teenage romance.
It was. Which I think
Here's the
was
thing,
right.
though.
I think that was right. I think
Yeah,
that's what it should
yeah.
have been.
Here's the thing, though. Rand's cut was actually smooth. He just left. He left. He told her
Peaced
whatever.
out.
After he tells
Like,
her, I'm
he's
gonna
like,
be your
"This is-"
warder.
And he cusses out
That's
his
true,
best
though.
friend for having feelings for said girl. I
Literally.
mean, if it was a clean cut, then none of that would have. No.
Oh, okay, it was a cleaner cut because it was all in one episode as opposed to 8 episodes from Egwene's
They weren't
part.
together. They were only together, physically together, in 4 of those episodes, the entire show. They get separated in episode 3, at the end of episode 3. So 4, 5,
I
and
agree,
6.
but but why was Rand headed for Tarvalon? Because
You mean
that's where
Tarvalon?
Yeah, Tarvalon.
You mean Tarvalon?
Tarvalon?
Oh man, I,
think-
say Tarvalon too.
Hey, so, but why was he heading there? Because of Egwene. That wound was still festering, even when he wasn't near her.
Right, but
Whole
like,
goal was
hold
to
on.
get to Egwene.
May I? May I?
Yes.
she
yes,
wasn't.
so defend your champion.
She wanted to get back together with him. It wasn't going to be a cut at all. Like they were. She was
Correct.
gonna. She wanted him to be her warder. Like, come on back. Let's be together. Yeah. You know, like she didn't want to end it, so it wasn't an end. It wasn't a cut. It was a sewing. She was stitching it back together.
Oh, there's no.
And now I've got
Not
this song
pain-free.
in my head.
No,
I
not
love
buying
you,
that.
yeah.
See, I was thinking,
my.
let's get together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
I know that song too. So
Dana Lou, who says Rand sleeps with her and then ghosts her. What's messier than that, Tavern? That is messy AF.
How is that messy?
that's some early 20s romance.
Come
bullcrap right
on.
there.
How
That's
is that
fuckboy stuff.
how-
Like, I'm sorry.
Fuckboy stuff? Okay, what about? Oh, you're only valuable to me as long as I don't have this really cool thing that I can do over here.
What the hell are you talking
Egwene.
about?
That's not her.
Wait, that's
She
all
doesn't
her.
do that.
Anyways,
So-
we gotta.
I love you, but I'm gonna be a wisdom. See ya. Oh no, I love you again, but I can be a Aes Sedai. See ya.
Literally not.
I love you, but
Come
you
with
can do
me.
it.
That's not
She
what
says,
happened
come.
at all.
Like, she wants him to come with her. Like, I don't know
We're
what you're
done.
talking about.
We're back at the warder conversation we were
Yeah,
just
we're done.
at.
We're out.
All right. Okay. Sith guy says, "How is that messy?" 3 full glares to the camera. I think you're outvoted here. Random Noman agrees. Straight up brosif move. Okay, love it. Okay, great.
Two Rivers Badger said it best.
She ghosts Rand, not the other way around, because he leaves. Yeah, unfacts. The opposite of facts.
Yes.
Fake news.
Rand, the ultimate pool boy. That's more accurate.
Oh boy.
Um,
oh my.
Anyways, so we promised a little bit of Lord of the Rings chat today, and
Aye.
so unless we have any further thoughts about the Tam scene, other than the fact that we already talked about all that thing, and I completely agree that the only loss from that scene, in my opinion, is a longer runtime for the first episode, and also the actor, like Tam, knocked it out of the park. Like, I love
Yes,
hearing
100%.
his voice and all of his sage wisdom. Like, I loved it, but that's something we could lose because it slowed down the episode and was kind of redundant.
It's
So more
crazy.
deleted scenes. Please give us.
Please.
Want 'em all.
Please.
Also,
We don't care if you cut them. Just let us have them.
Crazy watching him in this show compared to when he was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, because he was
And
an
it's just
evil dude.
Oh my god, he was so amazing in that. Oh, but yeah, anyways, yeah.
Thanks,
he's just a
guys,
really
for pointing
good,
out
versatile actor.
the fact that
Facts.
I made up that word, but that's fine.
We have our
Facts.
own Wheel and Chill dictionary.
No general WatCon discussion. You know what? Yeah, we're on a wheel. This is primarily a Wheel of Time show. Why don't we talk a little bit about WatCon before we switch to Lord of the Rings? Shall we?
Talk about it.
Let's
Let's
talk.
go.
Beth, what was your favorite? I think we already asked you that during the Wheel and Chill show, but like, what was your favorite thing about the Wheel and or the WatCon Wheel and Chill show about being on this show right now?
Yeah.
My favorite thing had not happened yet
Ooh.
when we met, when we talked at WatCon, on Wheel and Chill WatCon. Very, very, very late into the wee early hours of Saturday night to Sunday was some of the most brilliant conversation / best class hattery that I have ever seen in my life. Michael Kramer and Kate Redding are so personable, and
Yes.
they were out until all hours of the morning, hanging out with people who were at the con. And there was some stuff that went down on Saturday night that there's videos out on Twitter. You can find them. If I can go back and find them, I'll retweet them. But it's
Do it.
basically Michael Kramer was asked to read, for lack of a better term, an asinine tweet. Hilarious, like the way it came about, and but he read it in like 4 dialects, like
Oh, Jesus Christ.
with different pacing, and he was very serious about it. He's like, well, we could do it like this, and then he reads the tweet, and then he's like, or we could do this, and then later on he's like, we could also do it in German. And every time, like, right on the point. And it's like
So much
3
talent.
o'clock in the morning.
It's amazing.
And people literally fell dead on the floor laughing so hard. It was the best moment. And there might have been a little bit of alcohol involved. Or a lot
of alcohol involved.
But, I mean, they were just so fun all weekend. Like, they were so chill. They would be the perfect guests on Wheel and Chill because they are the most chill.
It would be.
People.
That's such
They
an interesting idea.
That's a great
I
idea.
love that
It's so
idea
weird.
so much.
Dot, dot, dot. Nothing official yet, but. Anyways,
Oh,
go
well,
on.
already then. It was just, that was my absolute favorite moment. But meeting everybody in person, because, you know, I went to Jordan Con, and Kritter, I know you were also at Jordan Con. WatCon was better, in my opinion. I liked Jordan Con a lot. I enjoyed it, but I didn't have any great, huge desire to go sit in a bunch of panels. It was more meeting people, looking at the artwork that was on display. The content at WatCon was was like a whole nother level, and I just really appreciate all the coordination that went into it, the people who, just went ahead and spent time organizing everything. It was such a great thing, and maybe it was because it was so small this year, and if it gets bigger, it might lose some of that. But it was great. It was magical. I loved it.
I think that particular hotel we're going to use again next year, and it can't get a whole lot bigger. So next year, at least, it should still be really intimate. I'm really glad to hear that you liked it, though. Jordan Con was my first Wheel of Time con, and I loved it. But it was, I don't want to say overwhelming, because I had such an incredible time. But it was just a lot. It was so much. And like I agree, like I went to the panels I was on and maybe 1 or 2 other panels because it was like such a whirlwind, and I was like trying to keep up and like seeing people in the lobby, and it was kind of, and I didn't have my warder with me. Mr. Kritter was not there, and so it was nice to have
Mr. Kritter.
Yeah, it was nice to have him at WatCon with me as like somebody that I can just like breathe with, you know what I mean? So
yes.
Yeah, WatCon was an absolute blast, and it.
Yeah, everybody kept calling him Mr. Critter. It was pretty amazing.
It was.
That's adorable.
It was pretty funny. Yeah. So, anyways, Tavern. What about you?
Okay, so contrary to popular belief, I am slightly introverted. So for me, it was. Don't look at me like that. It's true.
That's surprising.
No, to me it was exhilarating, but it was also exhausting. Like I loved WatCon, but there was so much going on, and until I meet people, I'm very closed off. So if anybody noticed, I didn't spend too long with any one group of people. I was bouncing back and forth and talk because I felt like I was intruding. So but it really was a very homey feeling. It was like, I explained it to a friend of mine. It was like a family reunion where you don't know all the cousins, but by the time you leave, you remember that you're all family.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes me want to go even more.
Dude, I cannot wait to meet you in person. You should go next year.
I know, it's going to be pretty
Yes,
awesome.
I can't wait. You're going to have lunch in Dallas. God damn it.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's going to be the idea. And all of you sending love to Mr. Kritter in the chat. I'm sure he appreciates it. Thank you very much.
By the way, an amazing human being.
Yes.
Oh,
Amazing human
Very
being.
kind.
He is the nicest. He's funny. He's just a joy to be around. Truly.
Well.
And he's ticklish on his feet.
Another random fact for the
not
stream.
something that I explored. Not really something that I explored.
You know what? Maybe I'll just leave that one there without explaining it. Beth knows that.
I have to break a show somehow. I mean, I'm really good at like throwing stuff in there and breaking stuff. So I'll just leave it at that.
But yeah, he is ticklish on his feet. Random Nomad says Tavern just kept leaving his drink with me.
trust.
Hey, you know what? If somebody trusts you with their drink, that's an insane sign of trust. So at least
I would put it down and I'd be like, I gotta go do something. No roofies, and I would run off.
no refuse.
Oh my
Good.
gosh.
No roofies.
Yeah, I had a great time at
Random
WatCon. From now on, I will be going to both JordanCon and WatCon. They were different experiences for sure, but they were both amazing and had a lot of the same people, and that's honestly what makes cons so good. Is like, at least Wheel of Time cons, is you show up and it's all about the people, and everyone you meet is like meeting family, you know, that you've met on the internet. All internet friends, they're all so fun. But
Everybody was so sweet. Everybody was just really, really accepting.
yeah,
Carrie put out a tweet earlier this evening.
yeah, it was so nice.
It was beautiful, and it summed up everything that was WatCon. Everybody was accepting and approachable, and it was just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So good. We need Winespring there next year, for sure.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I'm already planning it. I will be there.
You gotta have a
be there.
Kentucky buck.
Oh yeah, that was the drink at the special drink at the bar. It was
Yeah, you need to have.
Oh, okay, I'm like,
Kentucky
what is that?
buck.
Yeah, a Kentucky Buck was delicious, but the old
was fucking
fashions
yummy.
that Dayon made,
Yeah,
and Dana
I am
Lou
a
can
fan of
attest,
old fashions.
me too.
Dana Lou and I had our first old fashions at WatCon.
Nice.
What?
Made, yes,
Wow.
I've
made
never had
by
one, so.
Dayon.
They're good.
AKA Dayondred, because we will recruit him into the Watt cult. And it was amazing and delicious. Yeah, I'm a convert. Like, give me an old fashioned now.
Oh yeah,
please.
I'm a big
Thank
fan.
you.
Wanted me to try crap in a glass, and I refused.
Yeah, it was this very sweet pink drink. Julie Schultz, is anyone thinking about going to Dragonsteel in Utah? If I had the vacation days, I would be there, but I can't make it this year. Dragonsteel is Brandon Sanderson's con, like specific, Cosmere specific. It's
I'm
this.
surprised it's not sold out already.
It might be, honestly. It's like
It sold out real fast.
like I know VIP. I think there are VIP passes. I'm pretty sure those sold out really fast. But some year I'm gonna make it because I have a hardcover, like a leather-bound edition of Elantris that's not signed, and I want to get it signed so bad.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So we're gonna.
Someday I'll read a Brandon Sanderson book that's not Wheel of Time. Don't come at me.
I won't.
Don't come at me.
Stores. Look, I showed this to Kritter. Where the hell did I put it?
You haven't read any other Sanderson?
So I've listened to like the first half of Mistborn, the first Mistborn.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's just I wasn't in the headspace for it at the time. So I mean, I have it. I'll go back to it eventually, maybe. But I mean, there's other stuff that catches my.
Yeah, next year's real exciting for us.
I
About
know.
to get like 5 books dropped on us, I think.
Oh, for Brandon
no.
Sanderson fan? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's crazy
Yeah.
about dropping.
Yeah, we've got a lot coming. It's pretty exciting.
Next year's gonna be good reading.
Yeah.
I'll get on the bandwagon eventually.
I'm actually, before we watch, because we'll just talk about Lord of the Rings very briefly. I want to find the chibis and show you the new chibis. We're gonna pull up Jessica's first because somebody just asked if hers had a spren, and so I think it's important that we see it because it's so flippin' cute.
It's freaking adorable.
Okay.
Really good idea to add a spren. Super creative.
All right, I need to zoom this in. This is ineffective the way it is. You guys, you can see this happening live. This is me being awesome at
Look at that
streaming.
cuteness.
How cute is this? It says squee on it too. Okay, we're obsessed. If you don't know, Memo,
I love it.
Memo is an artist on Twitter and Instagram. She does the chibis for Wheel of Time and other nerdy fandoms. So if you see profile pictures that look like this or like my icon, it comes from Memo. You can get on a wait list. Highly recommended. Yeah.
Whose is this?
This is Jessica Sadai's.
Jessica Sadai. Wow.
Yeah.
You did
Jessica
chose well.
Squeedie.
Oh,
Her name is officially Jessica
Jessica
Squeedie. And
So these are books. Are you blue Ajah, brown Ajah because of the books, or not an Ajah and you're just a book reader? And also, is the spren anything? Oh, is it a squee spren or is it some other kind of? Is it the squee spren? Okay, I love that. That's so cute.
Squeeze. That's adorable.
Okay, so I'm gonna find Beth's now. I'm gonna go back to this view so you can't see me searching around.
And Beth, you just got yours too, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, that was
cute.
A squeen. Wow, random. Yes, squeen.
Oh
That's
my God.
amazing.
Is that new?
I love
Did that
that.
just become a thing? Because
Yeah, that just became a thing. Jessica, there's your first merch. Yes, squeen.
yes, queen. Okay, this is Beth's. It's so cute.
I love it with the wheel. Very cool.
Beth Domon. She's
Yeah.
So are
That
you
makes
like
a lot of sense.
Bale
So
Domon
I-
reincarnated, or?
Well, no, I'm like a distant relative.
I
of
love
Bale
that.
Domon.
Distant relative.
So I asked on Twitter. I was like, "I'm getting a chibi. Should I be Beth of the Blue Ajah or Domon?" And Critter's like, "Why not be Beth Domon of the Blue Ajah?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I love it so much."
There you go.
So when Memo sent me the initial sketch, I was like, "Can you please make her outfit blue, and can you add a little Aes Sedai symbol in the middle of the wheel?" And so if you look really close when you go up, there's a little Aes
Right in
Sedai
the
symbol
center.
in there. So yeah, I do be Beth Dolman.
You be Beth
I
Dolman.
do
You
be
do
of the,
be.
I do be of the Blue Ajah, and I do be a privateer who do be liking to make some money, but I'm a blue, you know.
In
You got any
Very
ice
cool
papers?
details.
I love
You got any ice papers, lady?
it.
Yeah, so
And Tavern, you have one coming, don't you?
Yes.
So
You'll
Don't
have to
know
put it
when.
up when you have your.
Don't know when it's coming.
yeah, we'll put it up once you have it.
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
It's gonna
it
be
like
I have the sketch,
the
but I don't want to show the
The
sketch.
sketch is so good.
Mhm.
It is so good. I'm so excited for it. Okay, so you guys want to watch some Lord of the Rings, or should we like first? No, let's watch
talk
it.
about it?
Let's watch it first, and then kind of like
Okay, yeah.
talk about how we relate to the Lord of the Rings fandom. How's that sound?
All
Okay,
right.
I'm gonna open this up real big, and then I'm gonna switch to this, and then I'm
Mute
gonna
myself.
have to adjust it because I completely messed it up to zoom into the chibis. Like really messed it up. So hopefully, nope. This is still. This is fine, guys. I'm working it out. We're gonna make
Got
it
this.
eventually. There. Okay,
No
we're
rush.
getting there. We're getting there.
It's fine. This is fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
There is a way that I could technically like have it in preview mode and then just switch it already, but you guys want to see the like how the sausage is made, don't you?
How does the magic work? How does sort of make it so beautiful?
Have you never heard that phrase, Winespring?
I love that.
All right. Okay. Are we ready now?
We're ready.
Perfect. Let's do this.
There was a time when the world was so young. There had not yet been a sunrise. But even then, there was light.
Call to me, lands far away. Elves have forests to protect. Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other. For I must now wander this wandering day. We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel. Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples. I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all.
The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
am so excited about this.
I mean, I guess it looks good.
I guess it's fine. How much like this? There was one shot in here that's like just so beautiful that I'm completely missing.
What I have seen.
All we need is her, really, though. So
Yeah.
she's incredible. Tam loves cats. What's up, Mistress Dovey? Glad you're here. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess let's start out by saying, like, are we Lord of the Rings fans? How long have we been Lord of the Rings fans? Like, why are we excited about this? If we're excited about this, you know, the whole nine. So I'll start. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I like read The Hobbit in 5th grade when I saw you've all heard this story, but I'm gonna repeat it. My mom always took me to the library as a kid because she was a teacher, so we would go in the summer and like pick books out and then read them and then bring them back, and it was this whole thing. I was walking down the aisle and I saw a book with a red dragon on it, and I picked it up and I read it, and it was The Hobbit. And then I found out somehow, I think while I was searching, because there was like the old desktop computers, I was like searching for more books like The Hobbit, and then I found out that the Lord of the Rings trilogy existed. And so I read that.
Oh, man.
I know, it's like I was like discovering it like anew for the first time. I had never heard of it. And so then I read those, and then I was into fantasy for the rest of my life. Like, and then I saw the movies.
Wow.
I went to the midnight premieres, and like almost yearly I watch the extended editions in marathon format, usually like on my birthday, but sometimes on somebody else's birthday because all my friends are nerds. And so anyways, I love Lord of the Rings and the Wheel of Time. And the Hobbit movies were fine. Like they were fun, but I'm not obsessed with them. I think I've rewatched them like one time, but the Lord of the Rings movies are like, I love them so much.
Yeah.
Beth, what are you a big Lord of the Rings fan, or?
Not okay. So I loved the movies. I mean, I can't watch the movie. I can't not watch the movies when I see them on, you know. Or occasionally I'll get that hit of nostalgia, and I own the digital, like, director's cut, extended cut, whatever. So occasionally I'll watch them, but I was not a huge Lord of the Rings fan growing up, mostly because there was an animated movie, The Hobbit. And it was done very much in the style of the movie The Last Unicorn, which is one of the best fantasy movies ever. I don't care. Come at me if you want. But Last Unicorn is
would never.
beautiful. It's beautiful. And The Lord of the Rings just didn't captivate me like that. And so I remember reading Lord of the Rings. I was in my late teens when I read it, but by that time I had already been reading Terry Brooks, Anne McCaffrey, David Eddings. Those are like my foundational fantasy authors. And so Lord of the Rings was harder for me to get than those books because it's not quite as fast moving. It's just a different writing style, right?
Oh, for sure.
So for me, it just didn't hit as hard. I have a great appreciation for what Tolkien did for the fantasy genre, but and a ton of respect for him writing the books when he wrote them with the real world events that were going on that he was using for his literary comparison. So they're definitely important, and they're they're great works of art, but I am much more a fan of the digital media than the written media.
Fair. No, don't come for me. I am a Lord of the Rings fan, but I prefer the movies over the books too because the books are slow at times.
Yeah.
They are.
Some slog in there.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest with you, I had no desire to see this show until this trailer came out. I just really couldn't care less. Wow. I was like, it's if there's nothing else on, I'll watch it. But after seeing this trailer, I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm also angry at Amazon. Like,
I was going to say,
throw a quarter of this budget to the Wheel of Time. It would just be like, it would be so good if you just gave us like $200 million.
just a little more.
But I'm sure.
Well, Lord of the Rings is like the most expensive show ever made, right?
Ever.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
Like ever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you all know this. I mean, but for some that are out there that don't, with anything that's new, right? Like, we know the Wheel of Time. We have, but the community for the Wheel of Time is not size of the community for the Lord of the Rings.
Correct.
Right?
That's so true.
It's been around. So
Yeah.
anytime they try something new, always will throw some money at it. The fact that they threw as much money as they did at the Wheel of Time, I was pretty impressed with. Now, the better we do on the show, the more money they will get, the more bigger the budget, and the better shit we'll get. With Lord of the Rings, it's already been proven.
It's a given,
with the Lord
right?
of the Ring movies,
Yeah.
the Hobbit movies, you know, even though they were whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to see how, you know, them throw more money at the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Time goes on.
Yes.
I was gonna
That would
say,
be
if you're
preferable.
even if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, if you're a Wheel of Time fan, you're gonna want to watch the show just to see where all that money went
Yes.
and how it's being used. Winespring, what about you? Are you a long-time Lotr fan or relatively new, or not a fan at all?
I am just like an average fan of Lord. You know, but I would go to the midnight showings with friends dressed in cosplay. I didn't, but they did.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I had friends that were super fans, so I could never like live up to that.
Okay.
After seeing what a super fan really looks like, or like being a super fan of Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
So I like it. I enjoy it. I didn't pay a lot of attention to it until this trailer came out, and now I can't wait.
Really?
To see
So
it.
you're excited?
Yes. Oh, I am really excited for it.
Okay.
I'm glad, because hopefully, if Kritter lets me out of the box, we may be doing shows about the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Oh.
Like as
Look at her, she's like, oh!
Cool.
Yeah. You know, as something to pass the time, figured we'd do our like usual reaction stream, you know, the week after the show comes out. But if you're not
I'll
into
just be
it,
the average fan watching.
I love that.
Has probably the more clueless things that she sees. So let's go.
Perfect.
Sounds like fun.
That sounds great. Tavern, are you a longtime Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah, I actually, so we had an old couple that lived next to us, and I love books to begin with, but they got me hooked on different books like the Iliad and the Odyssey and that kind of shit. So if you can imagine an 8-year-old trying to tackle the Iliad, I just love books. And when the first animated Hobbit came out, which is, you said The Last Unicorn, but it was also in the kind of style of heavy metal. If you remember that artistic movie, I got hooked. I thought it was amazing. I wasn't able to read the books because they were a little bit, I mean, the Iliad and stuff, I read them, but I didn't understand half of them. But it was years before I read the books, because there's just so much. It's not just the books, it's the indices, the appendices, all the freaking the guy created a freaking language.
He did.
Or several languages.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot. So I didn't start reading them until I was a teenager. And then I read through the books. When the movies came out, I was hyped as hell for the first 3 movies. I was excited about The Hobbit. Then I was like, it's a trilogy. The fucking book is like an inch wide. Made this into a trilogy, and then I realized why, and it was just a cash cow. The whole Hobbit series to me it was done. I mean, it was okay. I liked the characters. I liked the actors. I liked the way they portrayed things. Cumberbatch as Smaug was that was something to see.
Benedict Cumberdragon.
really cool.
He was so good.
He was so freaking good. Have you seen the behind the scenes where
he's
he's
incredible.
fucking amazing?
Yes, I've seen all that too.
It really was a cash cow. It was like they just split it into 3 just to make more money, and it was kind of, you know. But huge fan of the movies. I miss Tom Bombadil.
He's too much of a side quest, in my opinion.
He was too much of a side quest, but in the books, he's amazing.
I did read that. Yeah.
I loved his character, and he was just always singing and shit. It was so weird in the books. But yeah, huge fan.
Sith Guy asks, any of the hosts read the Silmarillion? Seems relevant to the series for that show versus book perspective. So I've tried to read the Silmarillion a couple times, and I think I'm finally going to do it before the show comes out, and I'm just going to get it on audiobook because it's a tough read.
Yeah.
It's like reading an encyclopedia, honestly. And so
I read it once, and I don't remember a freaking thing of it.
well, and not to mention I don't think they have rights to the Silmarillion, and I'm saying that because all of the dude bros in my comments on my reaction video for this trailer keep reminding me that you don't that they don't have the rights to the Silmarillion, so this is all just fanfic, and I mean, if you've read any comments on Wheel of Time content, it's the same shit. So just imagine that, but under any Lord of the Rings content. And somebody else is saying that they're getting negative review bombed, just like the Wheel of Time did.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
already
sure.
happening.
Yeah.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
I went and read some of them under the YouTube posting and was, yeah.
Not surprised.
I wouldn't say I was shocked, but I mean, I wasn't.
Kritter, do you think it would be helpful if I kind of went over what I learned about the show? The setting?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay, so real quick, so the Rings of Power take place in the Second Age, not the Third Age, which we're familiar with, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and whatnot.
Mhm.
The two main characters that you're going to see are also in the Third Age are Galadriel and Elrond. Okay, because elves live for thousands of years. Actually, I think they're almost immortal, if I'm not mistaken. They go to the happy place at the end when they decide to leave.
Undying Lands, I believe.
Yeah. So this is well before Gandalf and Radagast and Saruman, so you're not going to see them in the show. They didn't show up until the Third Age, like 1,000 years into the Third Age. So this is in the Second Age. So all the information that they've gathered for this show, a lot of it is fanfic, but the solid pieces are all from Tolkien's appendices and different writings that he has in the appendices of the different books. So I think it's amazing because, one, we don't know what to expect. There is, something that the show is based on from Tolkien, so that part is good. But a lot of it, I'm sure they're going to make up. I love shows when they create something new and it has nothing to do with the other stuff, or they're so separated that it's a fresh thing, right? So that's the premise of the Ring of Power.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think you might differ from some people. Like, I think it sounds like casual fans, like Winespring, like Beth, they're going to be probably a lot like the Wheel of Time, totally fine and pleased.
We're going to love it.
Because it looks well done. It sounds amazing. It's beautiful. The acting is probably going to be great. I don't know if you noticed, but Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is in this, which is amazing.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'll find it. Okay, let me find him. He's one of the...
He's
sorry.
in there.
So, sorry. I got really excited when I saw the
Best worst movie ever.
Oh, it's not even worst. It's awesome. Like, here he is. Yes. He's an elf. Look at him. Anyway, you can't see him. Shit. Okay, we had to do one technical difficulty. There it is. Yeah.
Give him a double axe handle axe and let him go to town. It's so amazing.
So my guess is casual fans are going to be enthralled like they were with Game of Thrones. Like a lot of people didn't read the Game of Thrones books and they watched the show and they were freaking addicted. And some hardcore dude bros, like the people in my comments, are going to absolutely hate it, like the people who hated the Wheel of Time show. So it's funny to me to see this parallel that's already forming, even though the Lord of the Rings show hasn't even come out yet.
Right.
So
Julie Schultz in the comments says, actually Saruman is the big bad. Actually, the big bad is Sauron. And a lot of people get that confused because you have Sauron and Saruman.
Yeah.
Sauron is the big bad, yes. Saruman was the white wizard that Gandalf took over for when he became evil.
A very easy mistake to make. And
it's a huge,
go ahead, Beth.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, in regards to Game of Thrones, I was pretty much a book devotee.
Oh, okay.
In Game of Thrones, when they did not bring Catelyn Stark back as Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah.
I stopped watching it.
Are you serious?
Did you really?
Yep.
What?
I absolutely 100% did.
Wow. I mean, I read the books too, but I watched it all.
Nope. I was like, nope, I'm done. She was my absolute favorite character in the books. And then when she wasn't going to be brought around, and I mean, because think about who survives has a major part in the show. I mean, of course, I know everything that happened in the show, because how could you not, right? But people died by her hand who didn't die in the series, and I just loved her arc, and And I just was so disappointed when they chose not to use her that I was like, we're done here.
I'm realizing now that I think my history of being very open-minded and forgiving dates back even through Game of Thrones, because I read the books too.
Yeah.
And when they didn't bring Lady Stoneheart back, I was like, oh, that makes sense. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably
Make
go
up a
back
reason.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably go back now and appreciate the show. I just was so disappointed because she was literally like my favorite. To me, it would be like Barney Harris leaving and not ever replacing him and just writing Matt out of the show. Like, how can you have?
It was that intense
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I just loved her.
It's a great example.
So much. And
I
so-
never read the books. I started reading the first book, and I got to a certain point that was clearly weird and controversial for people, and I was like, why? It says it right there. And then I stopped. I was on a deployment, but I didn't have time to read them. But I watched the show, and I enjoyed the show. I kept hearing people talk about different things missing in Lady Stoneheart and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, that would be super fucking cool. But my biggest thing throughout the whole series was everyone kept saying, who's Jon Stark's, mother? And I was like, it said it in the first book. Like, alluded to in the first book. Why is there such confusion about this shit? And I didn't understand that. But I did get the whole series. I found the whole series not too long ago in thrift, so I'll probably go back and read through it.
I don't know if
it's not complete yet.
Yes, I
It's not
wouldn't.
complete
I
yet.
wouldn't start
No,
it
it's not
yet
complete.
because it's not complete. I wouldn't
Oh,
bother.
true.
Honestly,
True.
it's like I
He's
used to
got
tell people to
another
read
10 years.
Kingkiller, but then it's like, well, it's been 10 years, and I don't know if there's going to be another
Oh,
one anytime soon.
Totally
so
worth reading it.
Don't even get
Totally
me
worth
started on
reading.
that one. Don't
So
even get me
good.
started on that.
it just
Wait, what?
the Kingkiller
Books?
Chronicles
The
by
Kingkiller
Patrick
Chronicles?
Rothfuss. They're not finished, and we don't know when they're going to be finished. It's a lot like Game of Thrones, where I'm like, I enjoyed reading them. I have complaints about them, but they were a really, really fun read. But
Super fun.
I mean,
It's-
I just basically want to find out what happens between Quoth and Denna at this point. Like, what?
And Bash.
Like, why
What's up
does
with
he?
Bash?
Well, oh my God, yes, please give me some more. of that. But I mean,
need
in
some
Airy, like, is Airy real? Like, I just, oh, sorry, we can't be spoilers on Kingkiller Chronicles.
yeah, we can't.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Kingkiller
Anyway,
Chronicles.
it's a good series.
all I'll
Read it.
say is
You
it's
know,
I have
fun.
no idea what
Yeah.
you're all talking about.
but it's not done. So
Yeah,
if you
not
don't
done.
like reading book
Incomplete.
series that aren't done, don't read it. Like, and same with
Correct.
Game of Thrones. I had a good time reading Game of Thrones, but it's not done, and there is no end in sight. So I wouldn't start now if you're one that wants to have resolution.
I mean, like I said, I started reading it, had other things going on, so I couldn't finish it. But if I'm being honest, I don't know if I was very fond of his writing style. It was
Martin?
weird to me. Yeah, his writing style was a little off to me, but I'll probably go back and try to read it at some point. But when I tried to read it, I was like,
Yeah.
He
I don't
was a show writer for a long time, so that's one of the reasons why Game of Thrones adapted so well to the screen was because if you read
He was
those
super
first
involved.
books, he wrote them almost like they were teleplays. Like they could have been
Right, yeah.
screenplays, they could have been so very much like the Expanse novels are very closely written from the book to the page. They were adapted very easily.
Expanse was awesome.
Right. Whereas, the people like Robert Jordan and Stephen King, they were a little wordier and more verbose with their descriptions and all this different stuff. So it's a little bit harder to adapt some of that to the screen. So
Yeah, it definitely is. Also, I feel like Game of Thrones was an easier adaptation because the magic was so soft. Like there wasn't a ton of overt
That's such a good point.
magic, and people, like some people that aren't into fantasy, like my mother-in-law, could watch Game of Thrones without feeling like they were watching like an epic fantasy, right? Because she.
I think the only magic that I saw were the brothers of the one tower where they stole the baby dragons, right?
Right, unless you consider the existence of dragons,
Well,
or like the fact
well-
that Khaleesi's immune to heat, like that shit is
Yeah,
magic,
and then you
but
have
it's subtle.
The faceless men, and all that.
And the
stuff.
reincarnation, there's a few things, but it's like at the same time, it's not Wheel of Time magic. They're not. It's not Harry Potter magic.
right.
I remember wanting more of the wolves too, and they didn't give us any of that. And it looks
Yeah.
like Wheel of Time is going to give us some good wolf action.
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so.
We're getting something so far, but Perrin,
Yeah.
like if we're getting Elias in the next season, which we should be.
Gosh, I hope so.
Like, Watt Series is reporting that we're going to get Elias, so hopefully we'll get some parent training montages. I think we all want that.
We're getting a request.
Okay.
Dame Alex Lobo says, not gonna lie, I'd pay to see you guys sink your teeth into the Green Bone Saga or Terry Pratchett's books. Those would be so fun.
Okay.
I don't know the Green Bone Saga.
I've never heard of the Green Bone Saga. I don't think.
No, either.
But I have so much.
Is that Fond du Lis, or is that different?
That what?
Fond du Lis, the Green Bone.
No, Dame
that's
Alex
Jade.
Lobos?
Your computer screen is so bright, Beth. You look so bright right now. It's really funny. Okay, much better.
You can just
it's Fond du Lis.
Beth, you look angelic.
You are glowing, right?
It's Fond du Lis. Yes, it's the Fond du Lis series. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
noted.
I have not read them.
I will
but
put
it's on my
that.
TBR. So
Lots of stuff on the old TBR. I guess
Very nice.
I'm currently on a Stormlight reread, but I need to probably press the pause button on that one so I can finish the Silmarillion by the show. Okay, noted. We'll have to keep track of that. I guess I don't know enough about this to like guess who this is, but like, who do you think this is? Is this Sauron? Did he come down in a comet? Like, is that what that is? Is the comet comes, it explodes,
what's happening
and
here?
this is Sauron? Like, there's a dude in there.
And so, like, what we talked about this before, right? We talked about this before the stream. That I was like, I had no clue what this was based off of, so I had to go do some research.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, when I saw it without having done any research on what time frame this was, I was like, "Is this when the what is Gandalf, the Astari? Is that what they are? Astari? Is this when they came to Earth?" But then I was like, "No. I read. Oh no, that happened thousands of years later." So I have no clue. Now, the chat, they've been talking about Morgoth and Sauron.
Yeah.
And so I think Julie said that Morgoth, I think, is first age, not second. So I'm not really sure. This could be Sauron.
Raining down from the heavens. I don't know. I feel like I'm literally spitballing because I don't know.
I don't know.
Anything.
I mean, it's possible because you get this. The image you get is of the eye, and we know that the eye isn't really an eye. It's a person standing in the middle of this freaking ball of fire, right?
it is.
Yeah, it's Sauron standing. It looks like an eye, but it's really him standing there as the pupil looking around. It's kind of crazy.
What?
You didn't see that in the movie?
Idea.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Again. In the movies.
No.
In the movies, they show it.
The movies.
No.
Yeah,
No,
I remember that.
I've never noticed that. I've never paid attention to that.
Yeah, in the movies, they show it. He's kind of standing there and it looks like a freaking big eye. Anyways, but that's the same imagery that I get out of this with the person in the middle of the ball of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's a
It's definitely very powerful.
That ball of fire?
Yeah, the person. Yeah, like let me.
Yeah.
Right
there's
here.
somebody in there.
He's kneeling. It's a person, I promise.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I see it now.
He's kneeling.
So I
Play
was
it.
like,
you play it, you really see it close. There's another
yeah,
spot where you see that,
yeah. I see it.
Aldae Baran says the first chapter of the Silmarillion is the most amazing creation story. You know what? I'm looking forward to tackling this and finally checking it off the list, because when I do my reaction videos for this show, if somebody comes up and is like, "Do you even read Lotr, bro?" I'll be like, "Yeah, man. I read the Silmarillion."
I read the Silmarillion. You're gonna be ready.
Also, I forgot to say this earlier. 11 minutes ago, No Moon followed on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. It bleeped and then I missed it. We were discussing.
Lou is saying that no, the eye is just the essence of Sauron, but yeah, and so
yes,
it is. It's not really him, but it's like an image of him inside this ball of fire, and so it kind of looks like an eye. At least that's the way they portrayed it in the movies.
Is there like a Wikipedia page that I can go to read all of this creation stuff without having to get into?
Probably. And you know what? Actually, I was gonna say this. Like Don Marshall 72, I think it's 72 on TikTok. You can search him, just Don Marshall. You'll find it. He's the obscure Lord of the Rings facts guy, and I know you don't get on TikTok that much, but if you follow him, his obscure Lord of the Rings videos are like fascinating. And
are they?
Yeah, and so there's that. He is also on YouTube and he's on Twitch, and I think he has a series where he like explains the Silmarillion, and it might be a podcast, I can't remember, but he's got a lot of resources. But I am sure there's probably a wiki too that you can read. So, and
Nice.
what's up, Black Tower Pod?
Guys.
Good to
Oh,
have
no.
you here.
no.
Zeus and I, we appreciate you being here. We're about to wrap up. So you going to bed is totally justified. That's really late. Is there anything else in this trailer that stood out to you all? Like any like favorite imagery? I particularly loved the music. I mean, I'm obsessed with Galadriel from this. Like, she's my new hero. Like, she's my queen.
she's
I'm
amazing.
obsessed. I think I want her to be the main character, even though the dude bros in my comments have informed me that it's an ensemble thing and it's not just about her. But I'll believe it when I see it. I want it to be just about her.
You need to come up with a name for the dude bros.
I welcome it. Like that for now. They're the dude bros. But. Other than just me being obsessed with Galadriel, I love the music. It reminded me of the original trilogy.
It's beautiful.
Ethereal
Yes.
and just exactly what I wanted. Is there anything that stood out to you, Beth?
Is this going to be the origin story of how the hobbits became the hobbits?
Well, we're getting the Harfoots, which are pre-Hobbit hobbits.
Pre-hobbit?
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's
They're
what I mean,
one
right?
of 3
They-
types of hobbits. Yeah.
Ooh, Winespring. Okay, pull it out.
I had to read.
Yeah.
I had to read about it.
Fine, though. You knew. That's
I
what we
mean,
thought.
I know absolutely nothing about this lore. I mean, seriously, the amount that I know, I could put in a thimble, and there'd be.
I'm
room
with
left
you.
over. So.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like their home is ruined, right? Like, that's what it looks like, and they're destitute, and they're leaving and going somewhere else. So, like, are they going to?
They are traveling. It
find the
looks like.
Shire? I mean, are these the ancestors of Frodo and Bilbo Baggins and Samwise Gamgee and all of those guys? I mean,
I don't know if they're a part of that.
Or if they're just
Type of
another
hobbit.
set of hobbits going on another adventure. Like, we'll see.
second breakfast.
But they live in the
second
foothills
coffee.
of the Misty Mountains. I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
See? So, I mean, if we hear a reference of second breakfast, I'll be happy.
Same.
I mean,
At least one, please.
Yeah, I actually have a little sign I got from Etsy. No admittance except on party business. It's like one of my fave things. It's
Nice.
It's from the Lord of the Rings movie, like Bilbo's party. You know what I mean? Do you
Oh,
remember?
yes,
He's
yes,
like
yes,
trying
yes,
to keep
yes.
everybody out.
Yeah.
Dame
Yeah.
Alex just hit it on the nose, with what I was gonna say, because we're twins and we think alike. The hobbits in this show remind me of the Tinkers.
Yeah.
They're just traveling,
have that vibe.
traveling, and
Yeah.
they have that whole vibe.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So should we rewatch all the movies before
They won't
the
help.
season starts on September 2nd?
I don't think they'll help you unless you just want to get into the spirit of it. But this whole story is so foreign to that one that the only 2 characters that I think you'll be able to mix and match with the other ones are Galadriel and Elrond. And
Yeah.
it happened thousands and thousands of years before the movies came. So
Is
I don't
Isildur
know.
in this? Am I crazy?
I don't know, because that's the thing. I'm not really sure.
I think he is.
He might be a young Isildur.
Yeah.
Like, but again, this is thousands of years.
Yeah.
Isildur,
No, he's in the Rings of Power.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Like I said, I really don't know.
So
There's very few
what I was gonna say is you could watch the first like 10 minutes of the Lord of the Rings when Galadriel does her voiceover, and you get to see the battle,
Yeah.
because essentially it's going to explain all the rings of power that get forged, and it'll show like so many to the dwarves, so many to the elves, blah blah blah. They get corrupted. This happens with Sauron, so it gives you the backstory that I think is going to be. Essentially, what we see in Rings of Power is going to be what comes before, like immediately before, or sort of, but immediately before all of that.
No, you're right. The first 10 minutes
Okay.
is the only connection, really.
Although there is some like Galadriel content, although I've only seen this like once or twice, but there's some Galadriel stuff in the Hobbit movies. We learned, right? There's a little bit. There's a little bit.
Midge. It's not even remotely close to the amount that you get in the books either.
No, yeah.
It's like, meh.
Yeah.
I don't have time to read all the books before September.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
So I was planning on just lazy day in it and watching those movies.
See, I think it's great. Like, honestly, do that. Don't do any extra research because then we'll have different like types of perspectives. Like, I
That's
will
a good
will
point.
have read the Silmarillion.
I'm
have it-
Yes.
gonna hold you accountable to that.
Do it. I'm
The
gonna.
week
By September 2nd?
Yeah.
September 2nd is when the
September
first one
2nd.
comes out.
Okay,
And
if
it's
you
called
read the Silmarillion
Shadow
by,
of the Past.
Silmarillion by September 2nd, I'll finish Winespring.
Oh, bet. Okay, I'll do. You know
it.
what? Like, I will. All right, I'm definitely gonna do a TikTok about it. But like, so like, a promise made is a promise kept. But I will also probably do a YouTube video about it just to prove to the dude bros that I've read Silmarillion.
Dude, bro.
So,
Say that.
Yeah. Anyways, that's
Love it so much.
and yeah, Danaluhu, I got the One Ring from Rakappa at WatCon. That's awesome. I want the One
I
Ring.
got a ring of power from Rakappa at WatCon as well. I don't
You got
know
a
if
zoo.
it's
Wow.
the one ring, but it's a ring of
It
power.
was a ring. Okay.
Got the kazoo of
It has
Lotr.
Elvish inscribed on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like the One Ring to me.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So okay, anything else that stood up? We should probably wrap this up. It's getting to be about that time.
Damn, Alex, don't hold us to anything.
Oh, I'm holding you. I'm holding you to your word.
I'll
You're
do
I
gonna
got
finish
yelled
New
at
Spring.
because I
You're
took
gonna
New
finish
Spring with
Silmarillion.
me to WatCon, and then Kritter was like, "Did you even read a page?" I said, "I took it out of my bag."
So not a page is what you're
No,
saying.
I didn't read
Not
it.
even a page.
I'm like still at the halfway point.
But now you have until September 2nd, so that's perfect. You can do it.
You got this.
I can,
We believe in you.
You better do it because
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. I don't even know how long.
That's
the
my
Silmarillion
final
is.
thoughts.
Oh, that's it. Okay, that's
Tavern.
Winespring's final.
You can do
Great.
it.
Let's do final thoughts.
That's
Beth, like we saw the deleted scene. We talked about the deleted scene. We checked out the Lord of the Rings trailer. We talked about WatCon. What do you like? Closing remarks. How do you feel? Like anything that stood out to you? Anything you want to talk about? The floor is yours. You can say whatever you want.
Well, thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
It was great to be here. I love
Glad
you guys.
you're here.
Winespring, I'm very glad you're back and we get to see your beautiful face.
Yay.
I am really just looking forward to deep diving into maybe Lord of the Rings stuff. I don't know. You know, I will keep you guys posted on my potential YouTube/podcast endeavor with my child, and we'll see what happens with that. But thanks again for having me. It was great, and I love you guys. And we only have 9 more months till JordanCon.
Woo!
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Woo! And who
It's
knows?
right around the corner.
And who knows how long
What?
until the Wheel of Time season 2 comes out?
Have they
Exactly.
put out tickets for that yet or no?
I
No.
don't think so.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Monitor
Gotta get on the mailing list.
the social media. Yeah. All right, Tavern. Final thoughts.
The whole show or just Lord of the Rings stuff?
You do whatever you want.
You do you.
You do you.
I didn't get to say this earlier, but favorite parts of the Rings of Power trailer or the things I'm looking forward to are being able to see more of the different races in their environments.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the dwarves so bad, but my favorite all around is always the hobbits.
Okay.
They bring me joy. So yeah, that's it. Other than that, thank you everybody for coming out. We love you guys.
Yeah.
And Winespring, I missed you so much.
We're so happy.
I'm back. Here I am.
Hey.
So was
Yeah,
that you holding Tavern to his word and me to my word? Was that really your final thought, or do you have anything else, Winespring, you want to
Yes.
say? Okay,
That
was
is my final thought.
Yeah.
okay.
Why?
I can't wait
Take
to
it. I
finally.
take it back. No, I'm just-
Also,
I'm kidding. I just,
buy Wheel and Chill merch.
Oh,
buy Wheel and Chill merch.
Oh, get the merch.
Do it.
Get
Some
the
sweet merch.
To get the
I
shiny
will be
one.
doing yeah.
Beautiful.
I'll be doing a shiny merch batch soon, and I'll post it on Twitter.
Amazing. And we have mugs on
Yeah,
Zazzle.
mugs on Zazzle.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Look up Tavern on Zazzle.
Quality mugs. Quality.
Quality.
So quality. And
I'm
I
trying to
actually
picture a joyous tavern. What the?
it's
And joyous.
okay. And yeah, I actually also have mugs on New Creations by Jen.
Yes.
Now that's a thing that I have too, so very exciting. Shiny shirts are amazing. My final thoughts are I'm really excited about the Lord of the Rings show. I'm pumped that we're getting more fantasy content. I'm hoping that the Lord of the Rings fans will translate into more Wheel of Time fans, and I've got my fingers and toes crossed that at some point, like maybe in the pre-show ads, we're gonna see some Wheel of Time content to like push people.
Please.
Like advertising team for
That would be
Amazon
brilliant.
Prime, think about it. Like put Wheel of Time stuff next to Lord of the Rings stuff so that you
It
benefit.
works
It'll work.
together.
Thank you, Susan Peterson, for saying my costume was awesome. That feels so good.
It was.
And yeah, that's gonna be it for us for now. We will keep you posted on what our next episode's gonna be about, and look for our Lord of the Rings content come September. Though I'm sure we'll be back between now and then. So and I have a live stream this week. At 11 a.m. Central Time, I will be doing a league game for the fan-made Wheel of Time board game called Third Age. And if you haven't seen it in practice yet, you don't have to sit there for the entire stream if you don't feel like watching the whole thing. But just to get a taste of the gameplay, it's available now publicly on Tabletop Simulator, and it is hella fun. It's got a lot of spoilers in it, but it's like a heavy strategy game that I have played like more times than I've played a lot of the board games that I have physically, and I have a great time with it. And there's a whole Discord dedicated to it. So if you get on that stream, you'll have the information for the Discord, you'll see what the gameplay is like, and inevitably you're going to want to play. So that's all. And Jessica Sadai, thank you so much for being such a trooper and telling everybody to like the stream. If you haven't done it yet, please consider it.
Yes.
And
Like it.
Somebody's bucking to be a mod.
And subscribe.
You know what?
Subscribe.
And
We may have to
yeah,
make her one.
thanks, Beth. Please subscribe. Also, this was amazing. Thank you so much, Beth, for being here.
Thanks for
Winespring,
having me.
welcome
Yes,
back. This was so much fun. Okay, we're gonna leave now.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.